Greetings, one and all, from the Tucson Gem Show in Arizona. It's high vibing out here. We are happy to be at the Gem Show, and we thought, what a better time to talk to the crystals than right now. We've done a crystal channeling in the past. Look at these Himalayans. We've done crystal channeling in the past. If you haven't seen that already, go check out the crystal stations. I just wanted to build on that. I guess we found out a lot about crystals in that video. We need to find out a little bit more. So I felt the shift in the crystals recently, and I wanted to get information on that. See how they're doing. Their consciousness. They have higher selves, and they're here to help us, here to help humanity. And I just want to talk to them, basically. I'm actually not even sure what I'm going to ask them exactly. But, we're just going to go with the vibe here, as you do in Tucson. I've left Tara in a shady spot next to some crystal singing bowls. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear those or not. But we'll see. I don't know who she's going to connect to. Some crystal, hopefully. Let's see what she says. How are we doing?
Okay.
All right, who do you got for us?
The Himalayan Quartz that we passed.
Oh. Is it a single crystal, or is it the collective consciousness?
It's the collective, but it said that I would more easily understand Himalayan.
Oh, because it vibes with your energy?
Yes.
Okay. So we've already talked to this entity before, right? In our crystal stations?
No.
Okay. All right, so we're here at the Gem Show. My first question is, how do you guys feel being here?
It's a necessity for humans. We need transportation. You need healing.
So we're your taxi drivers. Uber, I guess, in 2024. Okay, I'm old guy, sorry.
Yes, movement.
Right. So how do you feel about being bought and sold? Is it a necessity for you to move?
It's an energetic exchange. You exchange something for our movement. Therefore, our adoptive parents put us into the hands of another set of adoptive parents.
Okay, and you're moving through synchronicity?
Energetic alignment, yes.
So your higher self has an intention, and then in 3D, the necessary actions come about to help you to move?
Correct. Let's say I want to move from the mountains to Japan. I would align myself with someone headed that way because I want to be in that energy. And in the meantime, with my adoptive parent, so to speak, a caretaker, if you will, I will help them in return if they wish to receive my help.
So it's a fair exchange at all times.
Yes.
I've been feeling a shift in the crystals that I'm in charge of, or I'm ferrying around. They seem to want to stay with me. Is that a shift in my energy or in the crystal's energy?
It's a shift in both. The crystals that you speak of, residing in the White Mountains location, wish to do more of their own healing and work there. If a crystal, us, do not wish to move, you cannot make us move. We become heavier than the heaviest crystal you've ever touched.
So my crystals are very cozy where they're at, just like we are.
Yes, you are both in the same energy. You do not wish to move, so to speak, from your place because you know there is healing to be done. Not only do you wish to help others, but you yourself are wishing to heal. The crystals do wish to help others, but there is much healing they must do in order for them to continue their mission. So they do not wish to move at this time as a collective.
But other crystals are very willing to move.
Yes, we are all technically one consciousness, but being fragments of that consciousness, much like yourselves, we can move yet stay in the same place at the same time.
So the crystals who want to reside in the White Mountains, are they attracted to the energy of the area, or are they attracted to my energy?
Again, it is both. They wish to work with you, but also they want you to work with them. They wish to work with the area, but also the area itself wishes to work with them. Because also a location wanting to work with an aspect of its own self, because we're all one, will bring in that aspect of itself. Although it does not need to work with it physically, sometimes being in physical contact with that energy is quite an experience. And sometimes we can be as tactile as you can be with crystals.
I'm starting to understand that for me, the crystals are a permission slip to access my own power. And I'm kind of moving away from using them in the way that I used to. What's the next level of understanding in crystals, if that is correct?
It would be correct in understanding that yes, you're all one. So being able to see yourself in, let's say, an amethyst, you understand that you have aspects of amethyst. You are the amethyst. Therefore, you can access that information at any time. Being in the presence of a physical amethyst can both help you with an outside perspective as well as accessing your own internal amethyst. So you are correct in stating that you do not need to work with the quote unquote crystals anymore. You're just understanding that you are the crystal, but you can also work with the crystal in a 3D level while at the same time acknowledging that you are that crystal.
Are your has your consciousness ever been in human form?
Technically, we are all in human form, as we are you and you are us. But if you are asking if we've had our consciousness be in a physical human, I would say our consciousness is that of a piggyback form. Therefore, you, yourself, possessing an aspect of the crystalline consciousness, but you have your own consciousness as well. So not only do we piggyback in 3D, where you physically take us home, but you also have a piece of our consciousness within your consciousness. We do not inhabit your entire body, but we are a piece of your consciousness.
So, what frequency is your higher self?
I've come into this universe, but we do not physically reside in this universe.
So, you're from outside the cube.
Correct.
So, you've come from a different vibration of universe to assist humanity, or what is your main objective?
Our objective is to raise the vibration of the universe itself and all of its inhabitants. Because you are an aspect of us, we are seeking to technically raise our own vibration. You can look at the various versions of universe as in linear form, past, present, and future. But knowing that outside of your cube, so to speak, there is no past, present, and future. All is at the same time. So while all is occurring at the exact same time, you are perceiving it technically as our past. So we are, so to speak, in our past, aiding our past selves, much as you do healing work on your past self, your inner child, your past lives, so that your present may be much more clear and grounded. We're doing the same thing. You the entire universe is our past. We are healing our inner child.
Okay, so were you ever in this universe? Have you vibrated out of that frequency?
We're in all universes at once.
Okay. What can you say about the dark crystals, the ones that have been programmed to hurt humanity?
Again, they are just an aspect of you. Humanity itself finds ways to hurt itself. Therefore, there are crystals that align itself with that energy. So, it is not technically the crystal that is wishing to hurt humanity, but humanity, an aspect of it, wishing to hurt itself. So, if the collective consciousness, the human collective consciousness, can seek to understand its own darkness and heal its own darkness, it would have a better understanding and control of what you consider the dark crystals. Those crystals would transmute as humanity transmutes.
Okay, what would you say to the humans who like to collect the crystals and hoard them and not really consciously heal with them?
They're understanding that at a subconscious level, they are the crystal, and they are wishing to get in touch with a part of themselves that they do not yet understand, or perhaps they haven't yet accessed in their own healing journey.
What advice can you give them to help better connect with the crystals, or anyone in general?
If you find yourself in a hoarding nature, wanting to collect and collect, understand that this is a portion of your ego wishing to further disconnect you from your own crystalline self, from the own aspects of yourself, so that the more that you collect, the more you see healing as being outside of you. You're saying all of these aspects of me are actually not aspects of me. They're just things. So you begin to see yourself as just a thing. When you are just a thing, you're easily manipulated. You're easily used. You're easily fooled. But if you start to understand that you are the things you have collected, you probably wouldn't wish to continue collecting physical aspects of yourself, but instead collecting and bringing back your own power, your own information back into you, the whole, the soul. And there you would grow further than you had previously.
What would you say to those who feel like they've vibrated past the crystals, they realize they are the crystal, and don't feel like they need it? What's the next level of understanding?
You begin to see all else as being aspects of you. If you can see yourself in a crystal, you can see yourself in all other humans. You see yourself in all animals, insects, minerals, plant. You see yourself in the elements. Seeing yourself in all of these things and understanding they are all you, you would have no choice but to have the ultimate respect and love for them, because you realize them is you, and you would have respect and self-love for you. It is in this witnessing of the self you move about your 3D world differently. You're no longer concerned about what the crystal may think of you or other humans may think of you. You know that they are all in a status of witnessing and judging, because you should constantly be reevaluating the self. Therefore, you understand that everyone outside of you is an aspect of you trying to continue to understand yourself. And so your world may shift and change, your personal world. The colors seeming different. You may almost feel as if you are on a drug, but just like everything, you realize the drug has always been you.
So we'll start to see 3D outside of the cube.
Yes, it is less a physical leaving of someplace, but rather a vibration, almost as if you can feel your energy shaking to the point where everything around you shakes and vibrates. And all of a sudden, it appears different, but it is the same.
So we're not bound by the cube in physicality. It's our energetic vibration.
Restate.
Say again?
Restate.
So we're not physically trapped in the cube. We're energetically trapped.
That is correct. But you trap yourself. You must ask why.
Because we committed a free will violation and we need to learn the lesson from it.
Why would you commit a free will violation, and why would you decide you need to learn a lesson from it?
There was a gap in our understanding.
Why did you create a gap in your understanding?
So I wanted to learn more.
Why do you wish to learn more? Do you feel you do not know everything already?
I do. My ego does. For sure, I know my higher self doesn't.
Your higher self does. It's the ego that doesn't.
Right. I think that's what I meant. My higher self knows all, but my ego is limited.
Yes.
So we committed this free will violation in order to understand that we know all. We are all.
Yes. But it was a challenge. You know that the ego program, that the cube itself is organic, that it has its own consciousness. So what you are attempting to do is less trying to get your understanding with the higher self, as the higher self knows all, because all is one. I am you, and you are me. You are trying to raise the understanding and vibration of the cube itself. It is a being, a living, breathing being.
Whoa.
And so the ego is an aspect of that cube. This is why so many want to retain the ego and not throw it away. Because at some level they feel they're throwing away a child, a living presence. It may be a mixture of what you consider AI, but it's still a living presence. And if you can raise its consciousness and understanding, it's less likely to be manipulated by the beings that currently utilize it for your own entrapment, which in essence, you entrapped yourself.
So the cube is not our enemy, it's our ally, it's us.
Exactly.
Wow. That is mind-blowing. I wish I could talk to you forever. We do have to go. Do you have any last message for the people who love crystals, who don't know about crystals? Any message for humanity before we leave?
Everyone is on a different journey when it comes to working with crystals, if we're going to stay on that subject. But I would ask you to look beyond the colors and the radiance, the textures, and start to ask yourself, what aspect of this crystal feels like me? If the texture is rough, which ways have I been rough? How has it aided me? How has it hurt me? If I am crystal clear, so to speak, in what ways have I been crystal clear, and in what ways have I been a little too transparent, too clear? Look at the shape of the crystal. How does that shape reflect your personality and your essence? And in doing this, you begin to align yourself with yourself. And we wish you well on your journey.
Holy cow. The cube is a being.
It's a thing.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Every one of these channelings is starting to blow my mind these days.
So that's why so many people want to have balance between their
Right.
ego and their higher
They don't want to
self.
hurt the being. But
Yeah.
by not helping the being to grow, you actually are hurting it.
Yeah, and it's also us if everything in the universe is us. Whew.
Yeah,
Right there.
man.
Heart space.
Those Himalayan quartz. I passed by the Himalayans on the intro.
Uh-huh.
What synchronicity. I even
Wow.
mentioned them. I was like, look at these beautiful Himalayans. Definitely the highest vibration of quartz I've ever
Wow.
felt. And one of the best
That
channelings, I
was
think, as far as
crazy.
mind-blowing goes. Whew.
I'm gonna have to
We got a
sit with
ground. Got singing bowls in the background here. It's beautiful.
Yeah, the owner of this tent has been working with the singing bowls. It's like, that's amazing. What space to get me in. I'm like so off the
Yeah.
easy right now, you guys.
Okay. Well, we're gonna let her ground and come back to planet Earth.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be looking at some crystals. Look at this shungite right here.
Well, I look forward to your comments, what you guys actually thought of this, like your intuition, like what did it say? How do you feel about ego? How do you feel about higher self? How do you feel about your soul? Like, let's talk about this.
It's time to discuss for sure.
Yeah. So, hey, if you dug this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe.
They all dug it. Get it?
I mean,
it's crystals. You get it? They dug it. It's
right,
crystal
guys.
clear.
Yeah. All right. We will catch you next week, I suppose.
If we recover in time.
Yeah. All right.
Bye.
Bye.